Alright, I got some more notes for you. This is from Manly P. Hall, and then a little bit more is from the Kybalion, I believe. The masses of people are carried along, obedient to environment, the wills and desires of others stronger than themselves, hereditary suggestion, and other outward causes, moving them about like pawns on the chessboard of life. But the masters, rising to the plane above, dominate those below them's moods, characters, qualities, and powers, as well as the environment around them, and become movers instead of pawns. We help play the game of life instead of being played and moved about by others' wills and environment. Obey the higher planes and rule your own plane. It's basically like yesterday I was trying to do a video about fight or flight and freeze and fawn. Up until recently, I never heard of freeze or fawn. So you got fight or fight, run or fight. You got freeze like a deer in the headlights, which I feel like is like apathy. And today, like a lot of the threats aren't physical in nature. Sure, there's plenty of them, but a lot of the threats and shit are more like psychological, with an impending consequence of physical shit. So it's like just obey, just a whole bunch of obedience. And then fawn would be just immediately start acting as like an appeasement. It'd be a pacifist to appease the people that are trying to fuck you over. But he's talking about moving about on the chessboard of life by heredity, suggestion, other outward causes or desires, and the wills of others. And you can see it. It's I saw a video the other day from David Icke. He said, now I could call them, it used to be the post-stamp consensus, because, they only see it on a board that's that fucking big. And now he calls them press enter people. And you saw it with everything, really, like any crazy psyop that's been going on. But the best example I got for you would be the seamless transition from COVID to this Ukraine shit. So they just fucking yoinked in your head, pulled out some floppy disk or USB drive or whatever, pulled out the COVID one, and then stuck the one in fucking that says Ukraine in it, and hit enter. So it was, Black Lives Matter, George Floyd. Then it was Biden and Trump. And then it was, COVID. And now it's this. I'm like, who fucking knows what'll be next? But it must be fucking horrible to be that easily manipulated. But at the same time, I'm almost envious of these people because they're such low effort thinkers and they still somehow sleam through life. But I know that there's more to life than material possessions and whatever else motherfuckers is trying to attain down here. But I thought that was a good one from Manly P. Hall. This one is from Manly P. Hall as well. It's called A Word to the Wise. It's never been easy to save people from themselves. Once the mind and the emotions are involved in some peculiar notion, the individual is vulnerable to a variety of misfortunes. The basic weakness of men is a certain selfishness. He is forever seeking to gratify some ambition or advance his status, preferably with a minimum of effort, mental or physical. While he continues to seek something for nothing, he creates a market for dubious practices. The formula for protecting ourselves from evil has come down to us from the earliest moral and spiritual traditions of the human race. Do ill to no man, give to all which is justly theirs, think good thoughts, perform kind actions, be kind in all things, and have faith in the universal power at the source of life. The application of these simple admonitions will protect us from most pretensions and will gradually form our character around constructive principles. I mean, the dude was just a genius. I highly suggest you listen to some of his lectures, and she's got kind of a boring voice, but who gives a shit? Like, he's spitting fucking... He's spewing gold bricks out of his mouth all day long. Here's another one, just a small quote from him. It is easier to argue the merits of 20 beliefs than it is to live by the virtue of one. I think that goes to a lot of, like, like Passio does his presentations on fake ass Christians and fake ass anarchists, and then in the political spectrum, you got rhinos and name only, and so on and so forth. Like, people claim to be things, but then you get into the merits of, or the virtues of their practice, their beliefs or whatever, and often, more times than not, they ain't living by that shit. It's just like a fun fucking outfit for them to wear, for them to claim some type of moral virtuousness. I don't know. And then back to that first one for a second, because I just heard some shit that I thought was really clever. The masses of people are carried along, obedient to environment, the wills and desires of others stronger than themselves, heredity, suggestion, and other outward causes moving them about like pawns on the chessboard of life. It's a new thing. They called it fad outrage. Just like, you need the hottest new shit, the hot new clothes or whatever when you was a kid, or maybe you still do now if you're into that type of stuff. But now, it's like everybody, it's a fad to be COVID conscientious or supporting Ukraine or whatever. It's just this fucking weird bullshit virtue. I don't even know what the fuck, man, but it's crazy. I think I lost the page here. Fuck it. This is all good shit. This is also from Andy P. Hall. 14 prerequisites for initiation and attainment. Integrity. Integrity is honesty illuminated by inward realization. Integrity is the irresistible impulse to do that which is wise, noble, and beautiful. It lifts the life above blind obedience to man's law and establishes every thought and action upon the foundation of abiding justice. Goddamn. I mean, come on. Who doesn't want some integrity? Discrimination. Discover right and choose it. From conflicting and confusing opinions, it is judgment and also clear vision. Discrimination destroys false gods. It releases the soul from bondage to opinions. It emancipates man from 1,000 errors. It removes uncertainties from action. And then application. It's the capacity for intelligent persistence. It applies both continuity and conscientious. A thoroughness of effort, skill to judge, the routine necessity to build a solid foundation, and the courage to interrupt this routine before it destroys the individual qualities of the mind. Patience. Patience is a resignation to the inevitable process of law. Recognition to the inevitable process of law. It should not destroy enthusiasm, but should curb all extremes of emotion, bringing about a gentle acceptance of the facts of existence. Patience is the test of character, courage, and understanding. Something most people don't have. A lot of people don't have any character at all. It's just like those pawns getting moved around on the board, like I spoke about a minute ago. I don't really anybody got no fucking courage anymore. The courage that you do see is generally through like soldiers and shit, which they're fighting for the wrong causes for the most part. Because that courage is through indoctrination and some type of moral obligation to serve the state. But I'm gonna visit the rest of those later and put together something a little bit better, because I just found this notebook that I've been taking notes in for fucking years. It's just full of shit, man. A lot of good stuff in here. Yeah, have a good day. Go fuck yourself.